Guide to Setting Prices in Construction in the United States. Learn, apply, master. Learn how to calculate and establish your prices professionally. Discover how to evaluate construction projects and what to consider when setting your rates. Value your work more, charge what you deserve, and transform your construction or handyman business. Each chapter is structured to provide the necessary steps in the proper order so you can learn how to calculate and provide a fair and professional price for a construction project. Skipping a chapter or reading out of sequence could affect your understanding of the process and, consequently, the accuracy of the estimates you prepare. This book has been designed without numbering on the chapter title pages. This is intended to prevent the reader from skipping key sections, as reading should be done progressively from beginning to end for a complete understanding of the content. Important notice: book structure. We invite you to follow the book in a linear fashion to get the most out of this practical guide and master the art of project quoting. Guide to Pricing Construction in the United States. Learn how to calculate and set your prices professionally. Discover how to evaluate construction jobs, what to consider when setting your rates, how to present clear budgets, attract clients, manage your income, and take the first steps toward a successful business in the United States. Dedication. It all starts with the determination to focus on your goals, believe in yourself, and work consistently.
But above all, it's key to remain humble and recognize that there's always something more to learn. Every day is an opportunity to grow, improve, and hone your skills. I want to remind you that success is possible. If others have achieved it, you can too. Dedication. This book is dedicated to all Hispanics who are beginning to work for themselves in the United States, with the goal of building a better future for themselves and their families. It is also dedicated to all those who face the challenge of starting a business, setting their own prices, and learning to value themselves and their work in a competitive market. This book is designed to be a practical guide, a tool to help you find clarity in one of the most challenging aspects of working for yourself: pricing. It's a reminder that no matter your circumstances, you have the power to change your life and build a worthy business that allows you to grow and prosper. Your hard work and dedication will not only benefit you, but will also inspire others to follow in your footsteps. I hope this book motivates you to keep going, to never give up, and to believe in your own abilities. The dream of being your own boss and building something meaningful isn't exclusive to a select few. It's for everyone who's willing to learn, work passionately, and never stop growing. You can do it. The road won't be easy, but things truly worthwhile never are. There will be moments of uncertainty, doubt, and obstacles, especially when it comes to learning how to set fair and competitive prices. However, every step you take, no matter how small, is a step towards success. Don't be afraid to start from scratch, invest in your tools, seek knowledge, and ask for guidance from those who have already walked this path. Every experience you gain will bring you closer to your goals. I dedicate this book to my parents, who were always by my side, supporting me even in the darkest moments, when I was lost in vice. Their unconditional love and faith in me were the light that guided me toward a better path. This achievement is as much mine as yours. I also dedicate this to my 3 children, Genesis, Oscar, and Alejandro. You are the reason for everything, the force that drives me forward every day. Without you, none of this would make sense. Your energy, your love, and your presence in my life are the driving force that always makes me give my best. Writing professional budgets, recommended tools and platforms, presentation and clarity, recognizing your worth, the challenge of setting prices, overcoming mental barriers, the importance of self-knowledge, believing in your worth, adapting your prices over time, conclusion, determining your billable hours, calculating your hourly need, basic formulas and practical examples, true stories, lessons from 3 professionals. Case 2, Alejandro and effective negotiation. Case 1, Maria and the importance of delegating. Case 3, Sophia and error handling. How to charge, strategies and methods. Charging by the hour versus by project. Half-day versus full-day rates. Additional charges, mileage, miscellaneous, and disposal. Price mindset. Identify your personal and business expenses. Knowing your numbers. Recommended tools. Demographic. Factors that affect your prices. Location. Index. Introduction. How to define and apply your values. Values represent. Examples by type of work. Approximate price guide. Establishing core values. What do your... Today, thanks to that inspiration, I've moved forward on my own path, applying what I learned and growing both personally and professionally. Eliseo is a great example of how preparation and effort can take you far, and I'm grateful to have found his content at a time when I was looking to take the next step in my life. His videos became a constant source of motivation for me. Whenever I wanted to learn something new or needed to solve a problem, I found a solution in one of his videos. Preface. A few years ago, I discovered Eliseo on YouTube from his DIY channel. From the very beginning, I was impressed by his ability to clearly and practically teach all types of electrical, construction, and maintenance-related tasks. What inspired me most was seeing how he shared his knowledge and talked about his experiences, from studying at an electrical school to running his own construction company. Eliseo not only showed me that it's possible to succeed with hard work and dedication, but also that investing in oneself, whether through education or tools, always pays off. His approach in sharing his experience inspired me to pursue my goals with confidence, knowing that with discipline and practice, I could achieve them. Seeing how Eliseo worked with dedication, using the right tools and applying his knowledge, I began to follow his example. I bought my first tools, took courses to improve my skills, and little by little, I learned more about the trade. Introduction. Have you ever found yourself in that awkward position of asking yourself, how much should I charge for this job? Or worse, felt a knot in your stomach thinking, I don't know if I'm charging enough to cover my costs and earn what I deserve. If you're here, chances are these thoughts have crossed your mind more than once. Maybe you've even felt like you're leaving money on the table because you don't know how to properly calculate your prices, or you feel like your clients might reject a quote if it's too high. His approach in sharing his experience inspired me to pursue my goals with confidence, knowing that with discipline and practice, I could achieve them. Seeing how Eliseo worked with dedication, using the right tools and applying his knowledge, I began to follow his example. I bought my first tools, took courses to improve my skills, and little by little I learned more about the trade. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a common denominator in the concerns I hear most frequently from those starting out on their own or already owning their own business in the construction world. It's the word feel. Why does this happen? Because pricing isn't just about numbers. It's about confidence, understanding your own value, and communicating it confidently. It's a process that goes far beyond quickly glancing at a project and randomly giving a number. It involves analyzing costs, estimating timelines, understanding client expectations, and having the courage to defend the value of your work even when you feel you might lose the project. As I grew in the business, I discovered I wasn't alone in these concerns. I've worked with a wide range of professionals: plumbers, painters, drywall installers, electricians, and of course, other handymen. I've heard their stories, their frustrations, and their struggles. And one thing became clear: most of them face the same dilemma. Knowing how much to charge isn't just a financial issue. It's an emotional and professional challenge that can paralyze even the most talented. The challenge of setting prices, recognizing your value, that uncertainty is something I know all too well.
For years in my own handyman business and during complete renovations, whether remodeling basements or bathrooms, I faced the same doubts. Am I charging too much? Am I charging too little? How can I ensure my work is valued and at the same time that my business is profitable? These questions became a constant rumbling in my mind, especially in the early days when my experience and knowledge were limited. This book is not only designed to teach you how to calculate fair and competitive prices, but also to help you overcome the mental barriers that prevent you from charging what you're truly worth. Because the problem isn't always that clients aren't willing to pay. Often, it's we ourselves who limit our potential. As you read these pages, you'll find practical strategies and proven tips for evaluating construction jobs, setting appropriate rates, presenting clear quotes, and negotiating with confidence. I'll also share real-life experiences from myself and other professionals, so you'll see that you're not alone on this journey. The goal of this book is clear, to help you not only learn how to charge fairly, but also understand that your work has value, that your time is valuable, and that your efforts deserve to be rewarded. If you're ready to leave uncertainty behind and move toward a stronger, more profitable business, now's the time to start. The biggest obstacle for most people starting out in construction isn't a lack of skills or opportunities. It's the fact that they make important decisions based on feelings rather than solid, grounded knowledge. Sure, feelings have their place, but when it comes to pricing, phrases like, "I feel like I'm charging too much," or "I feel like clients won't pay what I'm asking," are repeated over and over again. And that's where the problem lies. But before we dive into the how-to of setting prices correctly, there's something even more important we need to address: mindset issues. Because your mindset will be at the heart of your success in setting fair and sustainable prices. Let's start there. And it all starts with something as essential as pricing. Because when you set prices correctly, you're doing more than just securing your revenue. Fear of rejection, insecurity about our values, and a lack of confidence in our worth are common barriers we all face. But here's the key. Many of those fears, those barriers that hold us back, can be overcome with something very powerful. Knowledge and running a business, emotions often become a silent enemy that holds us back more than we realize. This book is about that. It's about transforming those feels into "I know," of turning the uncertainty turns into security. We provide you with the tools and knowledge you need to make informed decisions that empower you. Because when you have a clear understanding of how to set your prices, you not only improve your finances, you also free your mind from unnecessary worries, strengthen your confidence, and pave the way for you and your business to reach levels you never imagined possible. You're communicating your value, respecting your time, and building a solid foundation for your business. Knowing how much to charge doesn't just affect your bank account. It also affects how your clients perceive you and how you perceive yourself. So let's get to work. Let's leave the guesswork and feelings behind and start setting prices based on knowledge and certainty. Because only when we fully understand the value of our work can we serve our clients efficiently and professionally without the constant burden of doubt. Setting your prices, the basics. Start with a hunch, but then back it up with data, calculations, and strategies that give you confidence that your prices are correct. Confidence in the prices you set for your construction business comes from knowledge. Knowing you're charging what you need and what's fair gives you the confidence to present your quotes professionally. But here's a key question. How can you gain that knowledge? This book aims to answer that question clearly and practically. It's true that we all have hunches. They're useful because they allow us to make quick decisions and guide us in many aspects of life. However, in the construction world, hunches aren't enough. You need something more solid: knowledge. I recommend you continue reading this book and take advantage of all the knowledge I share here. Once you finish this section, take the time to review the video and spreadsheet. Both resources are designed to complement what you'll learn here and take your business to the next level. Excel sheet. Here are the links. An explanatory video showing you step-by-step how to use this tool to create estimates that reflect the true value of your work.
It's important that you watch the entire video as it explains how everything works in a detailed and professional manner. By using both resources, you'll have a solid foundation for developing clear, fair, and competitive quotes. Explanatory video. P-drives SK and UID equals 1149-9384-68-846-40-5995 and RTPOF equals true and SD equals true. Remember, confidence in your prices starts with knowledge, and this approach will help you achieve it. A professional Excel spreadsheet specifically designed for detailed and accurate price calculations. To help you in this process, I have prepared an invaluable resource that combines theory and practice. What was I doing wrong when calculating my prices? I must admit that was exactly the case when I started my business. At the time, I was convinced that charging more than I earned as an employee would be enough to guarantee my profits, but I quickly realized I was wrong. When most people start a handyman or construction business, they often rely on hunches or quick calculations. They might even pull a number out of thin air, thinking something like, "I'll charge X amount because it's much more than I used to earn as an employee. This will be enough for me." The role of instinct and knowledge in pricing. What do your instincts and knowledge have to do with the prices you set for construction or handyman work? Absolutely everything. The combination of both is what defines success or failure when setting prices that are fair, competitive, and sustainable. It wasn't long before he noticed that, even though he was working hard, more money was leaving the business than was coming in. In fact, he was losing money. Why start your own business if it ends up costing more money than working for someone else? And that's where I started asking myself important questions. That was the first lesson I learned. Basing your prices solely on instinct or comparisons with your previous salary is a recipe for failure. I needed a more structured and informed approach. That's when I decided to delve deeper into the art of pricing, and what I discovered completely changed my perspective. The first thing I understood was that setting prices isn't just about numbers. It has a lot to do with mindset. Because before you can set fair and competitive prices, you need to believe in the value of your work and have the confidence to stand by it. This is critical. Your prices don't just reflect the materials and time you invest, they're also a statement of how much you value your skills, experience, and effort. Of course, mindset isn't everything. You also need concrete numbers. Knowing exactly how much a job costs, from materials to time, is essential to ensuring each project is profitable. In this book, we'll cover both aspects. 1. The right mindset for pricing. This includes overcoming the fear of charging what you really need and understanding that your work has undeniable value. How can I set prices that truly reflect the value of my work and ensure profitability? This concept is called perceived value, and it's key to understanding how pricing works. Perceived value isn't just based on what you physically do, but on how your work solves a problem, saves time, or improves your client's quality of life. For example, so let's start with the basics, breaking down the mindset behind pricing and then delving into how to calculate your numbers. This is the first step toward a stronger, more profitable, and more rewarding business. We'll explain how to analyze your costs, estimate timescales, and set rates that not only cover your expenses, but also ensure a fair and sustainable profit. 2. How to calculate your prices accurately. Remember, the success of your business depends not only on how much you work, but on how you work and how you value your time and effort. The right mindset combined with solid knowledge is the key to setting prices that allow you to thrive, not just survive. Price Mindset 1. One of the biggest challenges many professionals face in construction or freelance work is a lack of confidence in their own worth. It's common to think, maybe I'm charging too much, or what if the client isn't willing to pay this price? This type of thinking is a trap that can limit your business growth. Therefore, the first mindset shift you need to make is to recognize and believe in the value of what you offer. The first step to establishing fair and sustainable prices is understanding and accepting something fundamental. You are valuable. What you do is valuable, and what you know is valuable. This isn't just a motivational concept. It's an essential truth that must be reflected in the way you calculate and present your prices. It's up to you to communicate that value to your customers clearly and confidently. Specialized skills. Not everyone knows how to install drywall, repair plumbing, or design a functional kitchen. Your skills are unique and specialized. Time savings. The customer could try to do the work themselves, but that would cost them time, frustration, and likely an inferior result. When a client calls you to perform a service on their home or commercial property, they're not doing so by chance. They're calling you because they have a specific need they can't meet on their own. They may lack the skills, knowledge, time, or simply don't want to deal with the complexity of the job. In any of these cases, you have something they need, and that makes you valuable to them. 3. Remember that clients seek you out for a reason. If someone calls you, it's because they trust you can do something they can't. Recognizing and communicating your value is the first step to setting the right prices. If you don't believe in your own value, it will be difficult for your customers to see it. Here are some strategies to change your mindset. When you understand that people are willing to pay for the value they perceive in you, you begin to see your work differently. It's no longer just about doing something for someone. It's about solving problems, providing solutions, and improving the lives of your clients. Peace of mind. Your experience assures the client that the job will be done right without costly mistakes. The first step in pricing. 1. Make a list of your skills and accomplishments. Recall everything you know how to do and the successful projects you've completed. 2. Think about the benefits you offer. How does your work improve your clients' lives? What problems do they solve? One of the biggest obstacles entrepreneurs face in construction or handyman services is fully believing that their work has significant value. But here's the truth. People are willing and eager to pay you for what you know and what you do. Your experience, your skills, and your dedication have real value, and it's your responsibility to back it up and convey it with confidence. When you understand and accept your value, it will be much easier to present your prices with confidence and assurance. Remember, your prices aren't just numbers. They're a representation of the value you bring to each project. The mindset you need. People are willing to pay you for what you know and do. The second mindset you need to develop when setting prices for your business is self-awareness. You must have a clear and honest understanding of what you offer and the value you deliver. Ask yourself, self-knowledge, the second key mindset. 1. Reflect on your mission. Why did you start this business? What motivates you to keep going? Both options are valid, but understanding what you stand for and what you want to offer is crucial to aligning your prices with your clients' expectations. This not only affects how you calculate your rates, but also how you position yourself in the market and how your clients perceive you. The mindset you need. People are willing to pay you for what you know and do. Or are you offering a quality service that inspires confidence and ensures a job well done the first time? If you haven't yet defined your business's core values, now is the perfect time to create them. Ask yourself, what do I want my business to represent in the market? For example, our handyman business slogan, "We do jobs like we do our own jobs," isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a direct reflection of our core values. It's simple, straightforward, and aligned with our mission to provide quality service on every project, big or small. 2. Identify your strengths. What do you do better than your competitors? What positive feedback do you consistently receive from your customers? To help you create or reinforce your business's core values, here's a practical exercise. What really matters in my business? They represent who you are, what you value, and how you operate. Core values not only help you make clearer business decisions, they also guide how you interact with your customers and how you set your prices. Are you offering fast, easy, and affordable work, ideal for small and urgent repairs? Much of this process begins with your business's core values. Your core values are more than just pretty words. They are the foundation of your company. The importance of core values. How to define your core values. How do I want clients to perceive my work? 3. Create a short, clear list. Define 3 to 5 values that represent your business. For example, punctuality, quality, honesty, customer service. 4. Apply these values. Use your core values to guide every business decision, from how you respond to customer requests to how you calculate your prices. Some of the core values that define my business include: when your prices reflect your values, you're charging not just for a finished job, but also for the quality, professionalism, and expertise you offer. This is especially important in construction or handyman work, where clients aren't just looking for results, but also for trust and peace of mind. Rely on your values to set prices. Remember, the right mindset and a clear understanding of your values not only help you set fair prices, they also position you as a trustworthy and professional person in your community. And when people see that in you, they'll not only be willing to pay you what you're worth, but they'll also recommend your work to others. A successful business is not only built with tools and materials, but also with solid principles that guide every decision. In my case, these principles are more than just words. They are the driving force that has led me to turn my business into a source of trust and quality for my clients. My motto, "We do our work as if it were our home," reflects the essence of how we operate, with care, commitment, and attention to detail. Honor. We carry out every project with honesty and respect, ensuring we keep our promises. Our core values, the foundation of our success. Punctuality. We value our clients' time as much as our own, which is why we arrive on time and finish within the established deadlines. Cleaning. We leave every space better than we found it, because we know that a clean home is synonymous with professionalism. Integrity. Our commitment is to always do the right thing, even when no one is looking. High quality. Every project we undertake bears our seal of excellence. We not only meet, but exceed expectations. Professionalism. From communication to execution, we strive to exemplify what high-quality service should be. We admit when we don't know something. We recognize that there is always room to learn and improve. Big picture. Although we started as a handyman business, our focus has always been on building something bigger than ourselves. For example, every time we start a project, we always ask ourselves one question: how would I do it if this were my house? This mindset drives us to take care of every detail, to always strive for perfection, and to deliver work that not only meets expectations, but exceeds them. Your first step: defining your own values. These values not only keep us focused and aligned with our goals, but also communicate to our customers what we stand for. We're not just another business. We're a company committed to providing real solutions and making our customers feel confident in trusting us. Apply these values in every decision you make. Ask yourself, what do I want my business to stand for? The purpose of our core values. We accomplish our task no matter the circumstances, because we know that challenges are part of the journey and we are ready to face them. A list of 3 to 5 principles that guide your work. Reasonable pricing. We believe in under-promising and over-delivering, ensuring that every customer receives more value than they pay for. Compassion. We treat our clients with empathy and understand their needs before acting. This is the perfect time to start. Reflect on what your business stands for and what you want your customers to remember about you. Your values will inform everything from how you manage your customers to how you calculate your prices. If you're reading this and having yet to find your core values, don't worry. For example, your core values might include principles such as professionalism, punctuality, high quality, and commitment to your customers. These values not only reflect who you are, but also communicate to your customers why they should trust you. Setting values and knowing your numbers. Remember, core values aren't just for you, they're for your customers too. When they perceive that you operate with solid principles, they'll be more willing to trust you and recommend you to others. Because at the end of the day, your job isn't just what you do, but how you do it and what you stand for. Once you're clear on your core values, the next step is to understand your numbers. Why? Because knowing your numbers is key to setting fair and sustainable prices, managing your finances, and ensuring every project is profitable. Without this information, you'll be working in the dark and risk losing money even on successful projects. The power of knowing your numbers. The first step to gaining a deep understanding of yourself and your business is to establish core values for both yourself and your company. These values will not only define you as a professional, but will also serve as an essential guide as your business grows. They will be the basis for making important decisions, from how to set your prices to how to structure your marketing strategy. To get started, you need to organize your ideas and data. Here are 3 options for doing so. 3. Use Invoice One Pro, the best option for organizing and managing your business notes professionally. With this tool, you can not only take notes, but also calculate budgets, automatically add local taxes, and efficiently create invoices and estimates. 1. Grab a pencil and paper. Old school, great for quickly jotting down ideas. 2. Open a document on your computer. Useful if you prefer something digital and easy to edit. The first step in determining your pricing in the construction or handyman business is to identify what I call your hourly requirement. You've probably encountered people who say, you shouldn't charge by the hour. And in part, they're right. Charging by project is often more beneficial for you and your business. However, before you can effectively set project-based pricing, you need to know your required hourly rate. This knowledge is the foundation of any solid pricing structure. Remember, successful pricing isn't just a matter of hunches. It's a combination of knowledge, organization, and tools like Invoice One Pro to optimize every step of the way. Let's start with your numbers. Now that you have your tools ready, it's time to get started. Take note of your expenses, your material costs, and your base rates. Calculate how much you need to earn to cover those expenses and ensure a reasonable profit. This exercise will not only give you clarity, but also the confidence to present your prices confidently. Why do you need to know your hourly rate? Establishing your necessary hourly rate, the first thing you should do when learning. Know your numbers. Cover your costs. Make sure every hour worked covers your operating and personal expenses. Your hourly rate isn't just an arbitrary number. It's a tool that helps you. To calculate your hourly rate, follow these simple yet powerful steps. Guarantee your profits. Include a fair profit margin to keep your business sustainable. 1. Identify your total monthly costs. Personal expenses, rent, food, utilities, savings, etc. The power of the necessary hourly rate. 3. Apply the formula. Example, if your costs are $4,000 per month and you work 120 billable hours, your minimum hourly rate would be $4,000 divided by 120 equals $33.33 per hour. 4. Add your profit margin. 2. Calculate your billable hours. How to calculate your necessary hourly rate. Back up your prices. Having a calculated hourly rate allows you to justify your prices with confidence rather than relying on hunches or comparisons with competitors. Business expenses, tools, materials, insurance, advertising, transportation, etc. Consider how many hours per month you actually work on projects. Divide your total monthly expenses by your billable hours for the month. To ensure you're making a reasonable profit, add an additional 20% to your minimum hourly rate. In the example above, your adjusted rate would be $33.33 plus equals $40 per hour. Download Invoice One Pro today and start taking your pricing and business to the next level. Want to simplify this process? Invoice One Pro is the ideal tool to help you calculate your rates, estimate projects, and present clear and professional quotes. With features designed specifically for construction and handyman businesses, you'll be able to. Putting this knowledge into practice. With this formula, you'll know exactly how much you need to charge to cover your costs and make a profit. More importantly, this calculation will give you the security of knowing your prices are backed by solid data, not gut feelings. When a client questions your rates, you'll have the confidence to explain why your price is fair for both you and them. Although charging per project is more beneficial in the long run, your hourly rate is the foundation that will allow you to structure competitive and sustainable pricing. Once you know your hourly rate, you can use it to calculate the total cost of any project, considering the estimated time and materials needed. This will not only make your pricing more accurate, but also more professional. Enter your costs and hours worked to calculate your hourly rate. Create detailed and personalized quotes for each client. Use Invoice One Pro to make your calculations easier. Step 1. Know your personal and business expenses. Knowing your necessary hourly rate not only gives you financial clarity, but also transforms the way you present yourself to your clients. This knowledge is the first step towards setting prices that reflect the true value of your work, allow you to earn what you deserve, and ensure the sustainability of your business. Remember, success isn't just a matter of effort, it's a matter of working smart and backing up every decision with reliable data and tools. The first essential step in setting prices for your construction or handyman business is to identify all your expenses, both personal and business. Why? Because without this knowledge, you'll be working in the dark, without a solid foundation for calculating your prices. Knowing how much you need to cover your costs and generating a profit is the first pillar of a sustainable business.